Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're on a crash course here. Increased chanting, Hare Krishna. Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shiva Sri Gaur Bhaktananda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. I'm looking for some Vaishnava songs here that are really beautiful Vaishnava songs. Hare Krishna, where the Vaishnavas express their inner feelings and their desires and their realizations of Krishna and their prayers. So I'm looking for Hare Kṛṣṇa. Okay, here it is. The song to the mind. I'd really just like to get a shotgun and blast the thing out of my head, but I'm going to have to sing it a song. A rascal. Mine is. Jeez. It has such a taste for useless, nauseating stuff. Okay. So this is Govinda Das's song, Brahmā. And tell you, get this mind to behave, I can go back home, that's for sure. So here we are. Brahmā Shri Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Bindure Durlabamanava Chanamasatsangye Sarohe Avasindure. O mind, just worship the lotus feet of the son of Nanda, which makes one fearless. Having obtained this rare human birth, cross over this ocean of worldly existence through the association of saintly persons. And I was informed by a saintly person that I don't know how to associate with saintly persons. I don't know how to. You don't know, I was told you don't know how to behave with devotees. So, it's probably true. But here in this song it says, that's how you cross over the worldly existence, through the association of saintly persons. Keep chanting. Sita Atapa Patapari Chana Eitina Chamini Jagire Vipada Sevanu Kripana Turachana Chapala Sukala Bala Kire. Translation. Both in the day and at night I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of heat and cold, the wind and rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men. Ekana Yovana Putra Parijana Ite Achi Parati Tire Kamala Dala Chala Jivana Chalamala Vajamu Hari Padani Tire. What assurance of real happiness is there in all of one's wealth? Youthfulness, sons, family members. This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. This is a song to the mind. Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasare Pujana Saki Jana Atmani Vedana Govinda Dasabi It is the desire and great longing of Govinda Das to engage himself in the 9 processes of bhakti, namely, hearing the glories of Lord Hari, and chanting those glories, constantly remembering him, offering prayers to him, serving the Lord's lotus feet, serving the Supreme Lord as a servant, and worshipping him with flowers and incense and so forth, serving him as a friend, and completely offering the Lord one's very self. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Well, the mind can be the best friend, or it can be the worst enemy. To train the mind to fix on Krishna, then it becomes a good friend. Otherwise, monster. Oh God. The mind unleashed. Oh, please. So continuing in Krishna book, so on a crash course here. Chanting Hare Krishna at the top of every hour, 2 rounds, and then reading and chanting and hearing, and minimizing maintenance things as much as possible, just increasing more and more. Krishna, 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 Krishna. Like, a program in someone's house once a week just isn't going to do it for me. It's not going to do it. I need like 24 hours, seriously. So we'll do like this. Thank God I have the opportunity to do this. Oh, Krishna. So Lord Brahmā, he stole the calves and boys, and Lord Krishna revealed his Vishnu forms, having placed all the stolen calves and boys, and Brahmā got totally discombobulated in the presence of all the different Vishnu forms. And he realized his mistake in challenging child Krishna. So, at first I was thinking that the reason Lord Brahmā didn't recognize child Krishna, the Goloka form, as it was manifest now in Gokula, didn't recognize Krishna's personality of Godhead in that form, was because he was familiar with the Vishnu. Garbhodakshai Vishnu, he was born from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. But then, no, that doesn't seem right either. So I'm trying to understand why Brahmā didn't recognize the personality of Godhead, because he had realization after his austerities at the beginning of the universe. He realized Goloka Krishna. He realized Krishna with the peacock feather and the flute, and he realized the Krishna in the original planet, Goloka. Hare Krishna. So why didn't he recognize Krishna here, manifest in Gokula? See, I was wondering. Well, as happens so many times before, it gets cleared up the more you keep reading. But that question is in the back there, and I've had that question for a long time. Why didn't he recognize Kṛṣṇa? He had realization of Kṛṣṇa. The Brahmā Samhita, out of great ecstasy and great detail, describing Kṛṣṇa as Kṛṣṇa is standing there before him. But he doesn't recognize Kṛṣṇa standing there before him. So that question, at some point, it'll get resolved. It's still a question right now. Why he didn't recognize what was going on there. So now he's offering his beautiful prayers to Kṛṣṇa, the cowherd boy standing there in front of him. He says, "My dear Lord, there are many instances in the history of human society where a person, after failing to achieve the transcendental platform, engaged himself in devotional service with body, mind, and words, and thus attained the highest perfectional state, entering into your abode. The process of understanding you by speculation or mystic meditation are all useless without devotional service. One should therefore engage himself in your devotional service, even in his worldly activities, and one should always keep himself near you by the process of hearing and chanting your transcendental glories. Simply by being attached to hearing and chanting your glories, one can attain the highest perfectional stage and enter into your kingdom. If a person, therefore, always keeps in touch with you by hearing and chanting your glories and offers the results of his work for your satisfaction only, he very easily and happily attains entrance into your supreme abode. You are realizable by persons who have cleansed their hearts of all contamination. This cleansing of the heart is made possible by chanting and hearing the glories of your Lordship." So, is that clear? I mean, what, like 10 times in one paragraph? Hearing, chanting the glories of the Lord, chanting and hearing the glories of the Lord. Hare Kṛṣṇa. Okay, is that clear? Hare Kṛṣṇa. So, continue on here. The Lord is all-pervading, as it is stated by Lord Kṛṣṇa in the Bhagavad Gita. Everything is sustained by me, but at the same time, I am not in everything. Since the Lord is all-pervading, there is nothing existing without his knowledge. The all-pervasive nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead can never be within the limited knowledge of a living entity. Therefore, a person who has attained steadiness of the mind by fixing the mind on the lotus feet of the Lord is able to understand the Supreme Lord to some extent. It is the business of the mind to wander over varied subject matter for sense gratification. Therefore, only a person who engages the senses always in the service of the Lord can control the mind and be fixed at the lotus feet of the Lord. This concentration of the mind upon the lotus feet of the Lord is called samadhi. Unless one reaches the stage of samadhi or trance, he cannot understand the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There may be some philosophers or scientists who can study the cosmic nature from atom to atom. They may be so advanced that they can count the atomic composition of the cosmic atmosphere, or all the planets and the stars in the sky, or even the shining molecular parts of the sun or other stars and luminaries in the sky. But it is not possible to count the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As described in the beginning of Vedanta Sutra, the Supreme Person is the origin of all qualities. He is generally called Nirguna. Nirguna means without qualities. Guna means quality and Nir means without. But impersonalists interpret this word Nirguna as having no qualities. Because they are unable to estimate the qualities of the Lord in transcendental realization, they conclude that the Supreme Lord has no qualities. But that is actually not the position. The real position is that he is the original source of all qualities. All qualities are emanating constantly from him. How therefore can a limited person count the qualities of the Lord? Yeah. Something like the sunlight. So where there's no color, the sunlight is just bright light. It's just white light. Bright white light. There's no color in the sunlight. It's just bright white light. But we know all colors are within the sunlight. And when seen in the proper way, those colors are all exposed. There's unlimited varieties of color in the sunlight. But to just see it blankly, it's just white light. All qualities are emanating constantly from him. How therefore can a limited person count the qualities of the Lord? One may estimate the qualities of the Lord for one moment, but the next moment the qualities are increased. So it is not possible to make an estimation of the transcendental qualities of the Lord. He is therefore called Nirguna, which means not that he doesn't have qualities, but that his qualities cannot be estimated. They cannot be counted. One should not uselessly labor in mental speculation to estimate the Lord's qualities. There is no need of adopting a speculative method or exercising the body to attain mystic yoga perfection. One should simply understand that the distress and happiness of this body are predestined. There is no need to try to avoid the distress of this bodily existence or to attempt to achieve happiness by different types of exercises. The best course is to surrender unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead with body, mind, and words, and always be engaged in his service. This transcendental labor is fruitful, but other attempts to understand the absolute truth are never successful. Therefore, an intelligent man does not try to understand the Supreme Person, absolute truth, by speculative or mystic power. Rather, he engages Kṛṣṇa. Rather, he engages in devotional service and depends on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knows that whatever may happen to the body is due to past fruitive activities. If one lives such a simple life in devotional service, then automatically he can inherit the transcendental abode of the Lord. Actually, every living entity is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and a son of the Godhead. Each has the natural right to inherit and share the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. But, due to the contact of matter, conditioned living entities have been practically disinherited. If one adopts the simple process of engaging himself in devotional service, automatically he becomes eligible to become freed from the material contamination and elevated to the transcendental position of associating with the Supreme Lord. Bhaja Hare Manashi Nandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindure. Oh mind, just fix yourself on the lotus feet of the Lord. His pastimes, His name, His form, His qualities, His paraphernalia. I need a little more realization on His paraphernalia. Is that like the conch shell? And His slippers, you know, is that Hare Krishna, what they mean? They say, I get it about the pastimes, to whatever degree I get it. I get it about the name. I get it about the form. But the paraphernalia kind of slips by me. And so that's another, I have two questions now. Why did Lord Brahmā not recognize Kṛṣṇa when he was standing in front of him? And what's meant by paraphernalia? My only experience with paraphernalia was in the old days when we were smoking pot. Paraphernalia, the pipe. So maybe that's a clue, the paraphernalia. I hate to bring that up and even put it out into the atmosphere, but maybe that's a clue. Paraphernalia would be what? The flute. His flute, his peacock feather, his bugle horn, his belt, his necklace, his earrings, his turban, his crown, his golden ornaments, the rings on his fingers, the rings on his toes. Okay, you got the answer. I got the answer. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,